Debt is the gift that keeps on giving. It's like that hangnail under your skin that you just can't get rid of. But it's very important to find strategies to eliminate debt in order to achieve wealth. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. If you're struggling with debt and you're not sure how to pay it off, in this video, we're going to talk about it. Debt is something that's very easy to accumulate. It'll very easy to swipe that card or put something on credit, or many of the different ways that they have set up to make it okay to take debt and make taking on more debt normal. But the thing to remember is that person that's offering the debt to you, they don't know your struggle. They don't know your finances. They don't know what you're currently dealing with. They just there doing their job, selling whatever product and selling whatever payment plan that they have. We're going to talk about some real actionable strategies to help you detox your wallet of debt. The one way that I can assure you you can start achieving wealth with the money you already have is by paying off debt. Whenever you pay off debt, you give yourself an automatic pay raise, because the amounts of money that you're currently taking out of your paycheck and having to give to other creditors, can you imagine? What would you do? And I ask you that. Feel free to drop your answer in the comments below. But what would you do if you had that money that you're paying off to debt every month in your pocket? Would you invest it? Would you travel more? Would you go on a trip? What exactly would you do? So if you look and want more down to earth money and home buying tips, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so I can help you get your financial life together. So understanding debt and understanding what debt you have and what you owe is going to be the first step to having a realistic plan. So with that being said, let's talk about the different types of debt that exist. So let me bring up my screen. There are different types of debt that we can sign up for, that we can take on, and that looks different in the way that we would pay the different parts or types of debt off. Now you got secured debt. That's a car. It's secured by your car. If you don't pay it, they will come and take your car. A mortgage, it's secured debt. If you don't pay your mortgage, they will foreclose on your house. Unsecured debt looks more like credit cards, because they're extending money to you and you haven't given any physical asset or tangible asset as collateral, which means that if you don't pay it, the only recourse they have is to take you to take you to court, go through that step and all those things to come after you for the money that you owe. Now, revolving debt is debt that's giving you, honestly, that's credit cards also. Revolving debt is basically you don't have a set amount, you don't have set terms, you don't have things. They are not fixed, which means that you may have $100,000 that's at your disposal, but you can use it in different increments. And depending on how much of it you use, that's what's going to determine what your monthly payment is. That's going to determine what terms you have for it, because it's based on, this can be a HELOC or a credit card. For those of you who don't know what a HELOC is, it's a home equity line of credit. So say you have, I'm going to use 100,000 again because it's the round. You have $100,000 that you can borrow in equity from your home. Basically, they're going to extend it to you, but that does not mean you have to use it. You can use 20,000 of it. And then when you do another repair, use another 20,000. But the amount that you have to pay back and the terms, they're going to change based on how much of that money you are using. Now, installment debt is more similar to your mortgage bill, because, or like student loans, because it's set, it is fixed terms. You have a set amount, or a car loan is another example. You have a set amount of money that you're borrowing for a set amount of time, and you have a set payment that you're making. So the amount of interest, all of those things are already baked into that equation, and you know all of that going into it. That's one of the things that it's really important to know exactly what type of debt you have so you can know the best way for you to pay it off. Now, today we're talking about these different type of debts because it's important to know what type of debt you have so you can just know what's in your wallet. All of my stuff and things, if you want to take control of your finances, it's going to take you even knowing what's in them and what they look like and becoming familiar with them. You should know your numbers, and that's going to take you getting familiar with it. If you ever want to start building wealth and get rid of debt, trust me, if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like, oh my God, this is too much, I don't know if I can do this. This is why I want to share different strategies to help you reach financial stability. Now, get clear on what you owe. I know it's scary, but you can fix it. Okay? If you can't fix it, then you can seek help to have somebody else help you build a strategy to fix it. But you can't fix it if you don't face it. So make a list of every debt you have. Put what type of debt it is. Make sure you put the total amount. You put how much you owe, what the interest rate is, and your minimum payment. So make sure you put all of those things. What I also like to tell people do, look at how much interest, if they have it already calculated for you, look at how much interest you're going to pay every month. That's important because that lets you know how much they're charging you per month to keep on with that debt. Now, getting into strategy, there are two popular methods of paying off debt. Those strategies are the debt snowball method and the debt avalanche. Now, with the snowball method, you focus on paying off things based on the smallest amount. So again, let me bring up another slide because I like to show you as I tell you. So for the debt snowball method, as you see, you're going to start off with the smallest amount of debt. This is really good if you're somebody who needs quick wins. And what by quick wins, I mean, if you're starting off with the smallest balance, you're going to pay that off and then feel good, get that, that dose of, what is it called? Dopamine. You're going to get excited. That's going to motivate you throughout this journey. That's going to keep you like, oh, okay, yes, let's go. Let's keep paying it off. Let's go. If you are somebody who's more disciplined and you get tunnel vision when it comes to your goals and you Ray Charles to the distractions, then you might consider the debt avalanche method. And the debt avalanche method is a good method because it's a little harder because, again, you have to be able to stay focused and be self-motivated, but it's quicker because what it's doing is it's attacking the debt by which one is the most expensive for you. So it's attacking the debt based on the highest interest rate. So this is going to limit your amounts that you pay ultimately because you're knocking out the ones that is charging you the most and the most expensive. The biggest claims, essentially, that's taking all your money as soon as you get paid. Now, for either of these methods, for them to be successful, for you to make it through them, I highly recommend budgeting. Budgeting is very crucial. Budgeting is crucial because how do you know how much to pay off to the debt? A lot of my clients, they approach me and they tell me, oh, well, I pay more than the minimum on my credit card every month. And that is fabulous. And I love that for you. However, realistically, I have to sit and tell them, we then do their budget and realize they don't have money to give more than the minimum. They need to restructure some things and make some executive decisions before they can go pay more than the minimum. These are the type of things that a budget will tell you. So I know it feels good. I know it's a confidence booster and it feels great to be able to say that you paid more than the minimum. I understand completely. However, you need to make sure that your wallet gave you permission. Did your wallet tell you that you had enough? I understand that you are the CEO of your wallet and you are the boss of your wallet, but a boss typically works with their employees. A good leader is knowing their employees. A good leader is knowledgeable about their employees. So with that being said, you have to look and make sure you have enough money to make more than the minimum payment. Do you have to make some executive decisions and make some cuts? Do some of these bills got to go on the bench? These are the questions you got to ask yourself. Otherwise, paying more than a minimum payment is really just you being transfer happy, because now you've paid more than the minimum payment, and now you have to go into your savings to get the same money that you just transferred there. So now what's happening is you don't have an emergency fund, you don't have any savings, you don't have a nest egg. So the last point that I want to touch on is good debt versus bad debt. Now, as we get older and we navigate the current economy that we're in, the days of being able to, oh, I'm just going to save and buy my house cash, unless you're an investor and you're using creative financing and things like that, that's not really realistic for you. So you have to leverage what you have. If you want to start a business, if you want to do many of the different types of investing and you want to get ahead, you know how they use the term using other people's money. Well, that means that you're leveraging what you have. So you leverage your credit and you leverage your debt. So I'll talk a little bit briefly about this. I don't want to get too advanced in it, but I want to make sure that I plant this seed for those who might not know. Leveraging the money that you currently have is crucial in reaching the next level and leveling up your finances. It's going to help you cross that bridge. So bring up another slide. So here's a slide for you to understand what the benefits are with good debt versus bad debt. Bad debt, the reason why cars is listed as bad debt, because it's something that depreciates the minute you drive off the lot, and your car is not making you any money. Your car doesn't come and bring you any money in. Now, let's look at that on the flip side. If your car is being used for Turo, my opinion might change. If your car is used for you to run your business or whatever the case may be. But the important thing to think about is you can use any good, in good condition working car to do that. You don't have to use a super expensive car. And everybody has dream cars and everybody has cars that they want. But sometimes it might be a better decision for you to get a regular simple car while you accomplish your goals and leave your dream car for when you start accomplishing some of your financial dreams. And that's a hard conversation that it is, sometimes you have to have with yourself and sometimes I have to have with people, but it's realistic. We are in a situation and things are very expensive right now. But in 5 to 10 years, I assure you those prices will increase. So you have to prepare your finances so that you don't end up in an even worse situation. Now, looking at good debt, education. Now, some people argue education is not worth it. For me, my education was worth it. I think it depends on the person, the field they're going in, and it's definitely them putting action behind it also. Because realistically, if we discourage every single person from going to school and nobody goes to school, who's going to be our doctors? Who's going to be our lawyers? If nobody goes to school, because I don't see them changing being a lawyer without you having to know the law. I really just don't see it. So you're going to need those certain skills that you build getting an advanced degree to pass that and to go through the steps that you need to go through. Secondly, you want to know other lawyers. If I never went to college and I took the bar and I just took it and I never went to college, I don't get all those lawyer friends that I would get if I went to law school. Having all of those lawyer friends is clutch. That's a hell of a connection. One of the things that the wealthy do is they work to get in rooms. Getting into school is one of those ways to get in rooms. Of course, we don't have time to discuss like college strategy or anything like that. And you choose and have to choose what's best for you. But you want to consider different factors is what my point is. A home can be good debt. Some people might teeter-totter and say that a home is bad debt because a home is only taken away from you, but you got the equity built in it. So it's at least building money for you, whereas to a car is not. High levels of credit card debt. High levels of credit card debt signify money that's being snatched out your paycheck, and it's not going to do anything. If you use that credit card debt to do something, to invest in something, then the money that's coming back from it would be used to pay that credit card off. Okay? So just wanted to touch on that. There are different ways that you can use debt. There's good debt, there's bad debt, all of the things. But it's important for you to start learning and building those strategies. And don't forget, just because you are building wealth does not mean that you should be saving. You can pay off debt and save at the same time. You can pay off debt and build wealth at the same time. You simply have to create a plan and a strategy. Even if you completed your budget and in the beginning, it didn't leave you much money to do both, then you have to present it for a future plan. Maybe after you've made 3 payments or paid off that first account, okay, now you take your surplus from your budget, which if you don't know how to budget, watch my video about budgeting. It's in the same playlist that this video is in, and it will show you. And I did a live example where I showed an actual budget and what it looks like and what you need to do. Use that money and split it up. Maybe if it's $100, 30 to investing, 50 to debt repayment, and 20 to saving. Easy peasy. Using the 50-30-20 rule to apply it to your surplus is a great way for you to make sure you're working on multiple goals at the same time. Yes, budgeting is going to be crucial to pay off debt because it's going to be important for you to know what's going on, but you do need to still be working to save money so that you don't derail your debt repayment plan. And you also should be working to invest because we still need to be able to achieve wealth. You don't want, like, say you have a 5-year debt repayment plan. I believe 5 years is too long to wait to start investing. You do not need to have a lot of money to start investing. You can start investing with as little as $25. Okay? So, goalies, now is the time. It's a better time than ever. Take control of your debt, your finances, get your financial house in order. Start small, stay consistent. That's the best advice I can give you with anything. You do not have to tackle everything in this whole big concept all at once. Just like with any new skill, you learn as you go, and it's going to be a process. It's not going to look like this, it's going to be like this. So you understand that you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. The goal is to remain consistent, which means that it doesn't mean you're doing it 7 days a week. Consistent might be 4 out of the 7 days. Consistent even can be 3 out of the 7 days. It means that consistently you are doing something to work towards your financial future. All right. Don't forget to make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep learning and so you can keep learning and get your financial house in order. I'll catch y'all on the next video. See you next time.